See over 16,000 fans screaming for the South Carolina Gamecocks, who come in ranked #2 in the nation and will face the Winthrop Eagles out of the Big South Conference. And good evening, everybody. Sam Gore, honored to be alongside Steffi Sorensen. So, Steffi, 4 games in for South Carolina. Give us a South Carolina briefing real fast.
Well, there's been some injuries, right? You think about Chloe Kitts, Ashton Watkins sitting out this season. You got newcomers. One thing that's been steady, defense, leading the nation in field goal D. That is something South Carolina has hung their hat on, and it's showing up early in the season.
Well, big question mark for South Carolina. How would Joyce Edwards follow up that tremendous freshman season last year?
She said, I can do better. 18 points per game so far this season. Love her back to the basket. She's got great strength, great size, and in the face-up game. We all know that's what post players do in this modern era of basketball, and she's got it. And then Dawn Staley has challenged her to be better on the defensive side of the floor. She's doing that too. And the way that she makes these difficult moves look so easy is crazy to me. Like, she's not just playing out there. She's gliding. She is effortless and good company too, Sam.
Wow, that is impressive. And South Carolina now is being known for developing fantastic post players, just like the fantastic guards they've sent to the WNBA. Now for Winthrop, they have been led so far this season by Amori Porter, who was a first-team all-conference player in the Big South last year.
Well, she is a do-it-all player for the Eagles, and she's got a relentless motor. That's one thing I really like about her game. She can bring the ball up. She can get some offensive boards. They're going to rely on her. Now, she's only 5'10", so the size against Carolina is going to be something we got to watch for, but they're going to need her buckets out there in front of this crowd to get some energy into Winthrop early.
South Carolina team coming off a win over USC last weekend and ready to play in front of this home crowd. Winthrop also with a win coming in. They beat Queens over the weekend. Winthrop picked to finish 4th in the preseason Big South poll. Medina Ocote will be jumping center for South Carolina against Naomi Wilson, an Aussie. I've yet to have a game this year, Stephanie, without an Aussie on a roster. They are represented at Division I basketball. Gina Cross throws it up. We're underway. South Carolina controls the opening tip.
One thing that Winthrop does defensively is they'll throw different looks even within a quarter. Some man, some zone, full court press, and a great start for them to get a turnover.
Yeah, Ruff with the steal. She's a player that Samika Randall-Lay, Winthrop's head coach, pointed out to us earlier today as a player she loves to coach, loves to watch. Got a little Olivia Miles look going on there.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Yeah, there she is with the take. And Ruff with the first bucket on cue. Latson driving, scoring. Made it look easy.
And Winthrop wanted to slow down South Carolina in transition. That was going to be a challenge, and you could hear Coach Randall-Lay screaming at her team to get back.
Lard with 2 defenders on her has to back out. There's Ruff again. Ocote rips down the rebound. She's had double-doubles in 2 of her last 3 games. Tessa Johnson on the drive, rifles a pass inside, and Ocote finishes. Ocote just so good down low. It's going to be such a difference maker for South Carolina this year. Last year, she led the nation in field goal percentage at Mississippi State for a lot of the season. Turnover on Winthrop. Latson looking up the floor and is fouled at midcourt by Naomi Wilson.
Kind of talked about South Carolina's defense this season and not really fouling a lot, just guarding one-on-one and being active and playing the passing lanes.
Dawn Staley told us that she did not get her defense in as early as she wanted to this year, so that's where she's really looking for growth. Of course, when you have players that are competing for their national teams all over the world, they're not on campus in the summer. And Dawn Staley, 3-time NCAA tournament champion, has taken this program to 5 straight Final Fours and looking to make it 6 in a row. And Latson will be on the free throw line, of course, the celebrated transfer from Florida State who led the nation in scoring last year. And how do you see her role on this team, Steffi?
Well, she came from Florida State, where she had to take a bulk of the shots, and that was kind of just in part of their offense. Very high uptake, take a lot of shots. So she had to adjust to, hey, we're going to throw it down low to Joyce Edwards. We're going to run sets. We're not just going to go downhill and try to get to the rim. They're trying to create a well-rounded player out of Tenaya Latson. There's no question there's going to be some challenges along the way of 3 years of habits and then 1 year of a totally different system.
Rough trying to get around a coach. Oh, and a coach swats that out of bounds. She's averaging 2 blocks per game. In South Carolina, one of the best blocking teams in the country.
I mean, 6'6", I mean, the rotation, and that ball got swatted into the stands. You know, it's so funny you were talking about Dawn Staley not being particularly pleased yet with the defense. They're leading the nation in field goal. That is so on par for Dusty.
Arguably the best defensive team in the country. And Porter, our first look at her, gets her opening shot to go down. And South Carolina holding teams to making just 27% of their field goals, only 18% of their threes. And a foul on the baseline. It's going to be the second foul on Wilson. And so Naomi Wilson, who really gives them some size, is going to have to come out of the game. She's 6'3". Here's a look at those defensive numbers for South Carolina you were referring to. A coat, catch and shoot, and score as well.
Well, 55% of South Carolina's scoring comes in the paint. And I think when you have Joyce Edwards and you have Okote, those are 2 really great options. And just learning that duo, that chemistry, and growing the 4 and 5 together, it will take some time, but the potential is just sky high.
Winthrop running a motion right now, trying to get an open look against this tenacious D. Ruff is fearless, but passes up the shot. Shot clock at 5. Johnson doesn't get the roll. And here come the Gamecocks. Latson pushing it quickly to Raven Johnson. 3 on the way. A coat brought it down and had it knocked out of bounds, but another rebound for a coat. You know, you were talking about how strong they are in the post, and I just looked down at my stat sheet, Steffi. I mean, they're making 46% of their threes this season as well. I mean, it's really hard to find a weakness right now in South Carolina. And of course, they'll be tested a little later as well. And that's out of bounds. Back to South Carolina, where Winthrop is coached by the ferocious Samika Randall-Lay. In her 6th season, she was an incredible player at Tennessee, the 5th all-time scorer in Lady Vols history. Had an incredible WNBA career, won national championship playing for the legendary Pat Summitt. And she is fun to play with. And told us a funny story, Steffi, about when she competed against Dawn Staley in the WNBA. When Dawn was coming into the league, Coach Randall-Lay was leaving the league. She actually played Dawn's Charlotte Sting team in their final game and pressed Dawn the entire game. And Dawn said, what are you doing? Get off of me. And she said, hey, it's my last game. I'm going hard. Six probably had more steals that game than she ever had, and it was against Dawn Staley.
Well, that was an awesome story that Samika Randall-Lay shared with us, and that passion, I mean, just comes right through her chest when she's talking to us, when she's talking to her team. I mean, this is an all-time great, a legend for Tennessee, played for Pat Summitt, and carries a lot of those traits, infamous with the Vol family.
Foul is on Johnson. That's putting a coat on the free throw line. Medina, a coat. Smooth on the free throws, and a coat has not missed a shot of any kind so far. He's already got 6 points, averages 11 a game. You can definitely see the Pat Summitt influence in the way Samika Randall-Lay coaches this team. Porter misses the 3. Nice rebound by Wilson and ripped away by a coat. Latson sees the opening and turns on the Jets to draw the foul. She'll go to the line. Foul's on Porter.
Just another instance of Winthrop's got to get back and at least stop ball to create those, to not let Latson get loose in transition, because she's money when she's getting downhill and nobody's stopping her.
You know, Dawn Staley talking to us today about Tenaya Latson. She said, you know, she they work on a lot of specific things in practice, but when they get in the game, they want her not thinking. They want her playing on instinct. Latson has been to the line a lot. That's her 20th free throw of the season already. And she's only missed 4 so far this season.
So if you're the Eagles right now, you're outsized, so you got to use shot fakes. You got to cut to the basket. You got to do action away from the ball because South Carolina does a great job of just guarding one-on-one. So shot fakes, pass fakes, moving without the basketball, that's what they've got to go to in this half court.
Shot clock now under 10. Porter is their go-to player. Marches down the lane too strong. And an offensive board for the Eagles. Williams got it. Shot clock did not reset. And so South Carolina will get it back. Samika Randall-Lay was asking her staff, did that ball touch the rim? And he said, no, coach.
No, ma'am.
That's right. Emphatically. Johnson setting up the South Carolina offense. Edwards going to work, steps through, and a 3-second call called by lead official Gina Cross.
That's some of that, high-low action that we're used to seeing. The 4 and the 5 work so well with South Carolina. Well, Medina Okode is just in her first year, and she's trying to learn Joyce Edwards and when to clear out. See, Joyce is used to that, so she's going to try and create. Okode's got to do a better job of just getting out of her way.
Tessa Johnson had her hand in the passing lane, broke that up, and then a backcourt violation called against the Eagles. So South Carolina forces another turnover. That's 6 turnovers in just over 4 minutes. I know it was a 3-second violation on that last possession, but it's another indication of just how many moves Edwards has. I mean, she got open and just didn't look like it was there. Dowda's going to check in for South Carolina. Coat will get a breather. Miriam Dowda, 6'4", senior from Bentonville, Arkansas. And they don't lose much when Dowda comes in. A coach 6'6", Dowda 6'4". Nice take inside. And Latson is getting loose, 8 points already.
Nice play for her just at the elbow to create a shot or make a shot. And I didn't see much thinking there, and that's exactly what you want to see if you're Dawn Staley from tonight, Latson. A player that led the nation in scoring just a year ago.
Yeah, last year, over 25 a game. She and Okode have scored all the South Carolina points so far. McKeer into the game to Edwards, and Edwards just floating through the lane.
She glides, right?
Yeah, she does. I didn't want to use your words.
No, it's
so
okay.
I went with float.
Tag team. I mean, she's 6'3". It's really hard to tell people watching just how easy she makes plays look.
Yeah. South Carolina's D suffocating. Looks like it'll be a foul against South Carolina's Latson. Some big plays early in this one. South Carolina up by 12. Dawn Staley doing some coaching on this timeout. She's telling us today that, when she's evaluating her players, Steph, she's not looking at individuals. She's looking at units. So she's looking at 5 at a time. Like if I pull a player out, what does it do to the collective 5? Who works well together?
Yeah. When Alyssa Lang and I were kind of having a preview of this, I alluded to that because these are the games where maybe you start to build a lead. She can start tinkering around with those 5 out there. Maybe it's a defensive lineup. Maybe it's a tall lineup, a shorter lineup, a shooter's lineup. That's where you can really hone in on. If you need, 3 points, 4 points, and 10 seconds, well, I know my lineup when I need a quick score. And ultimately, I think she's got options. I mean, 8 of those 11 are McDonald's All-Americans. So there's no shortage of talent.
Last year, they were runner-up to UConn after the undefeated season in 2024, which resulted in their 3rd national championship. this season, of course, doing it without Chloe Kitts, who tore her ACL just before the season. But Chloe's rehab is going exceptionally well. In fact, if you came in tonight and you watched Chloe walk in, you would have no idea she had sustained a season-ending injury.
Yeah, we got a great report from their strength coach, Molly Benetti, who's, just a few days after surgery, they already get them up and get them going. And that's just the cutting edge science of now after these ACL injuries and just getting everybody back to 100%. But she's in great spirits too.
Lard off the mark on the shot. McKeer. Edwards trying to post up, and a foul called against the Gamecocks. Foul's going to be on Dowda. So right now, South Carolina with a different lineup on the court. Latson, Johnson, Edwards, Dowda, and McKeer. So Dawn Staley looking at groups of 5. Nice take, and one. Madison Ruff. That's exactly the type of play that Coach was talking to us about before the game.
Madison Ruff can get downhill, and she knew she had the mismatch with the switch from Miriam Dowda on this play that they run specifically for Ruff. Remember I said head fakes. If you know a team is going to try and block your shot fake, go up. Great offensive possession for the Eagles.
Second foul on Dowda. Ruff is just a sophomore. She was Miss Middle Georgia basketball in 2024 and was a state champion. And as coaches will tell you, they love having players on their teams that have won championships. She brings some of that championship mentality to this Winthrop program. And Ruff with 5 points. Johnson dumps it off to her coat. Offensive foul on Medina Okote, and it is Ruff taking the charge.
Getting the high five from her coach, and her eyes, Coach Randalay's eyes got so big talking about Madison Ruff, because she's a player that will just put it all on the line every single day, so consistent. And her head coach has got that same energy.
I think that's what it is. I think she reminds her a lot of Samika. Ruff reminds Samika of herself. Shot was partially touched. Okote runs down the rebound. South Carolina up 16-7 here. 3 minutes left in the opening quarter. They're undefeated, coming off a win over USC, Southern Cal. That was called the Real SC. And Okote takes the feed from Edwards and sticks it in. Three on the way from Pierfax. And that is Ruff saving that possession for the Eagles. Porter fakes, drives. Pierfax for 3. Got it. 6th of the season for Maya Pierfax.
Nice little run that Winthrop has put forth. That 3 will open up some driving space.
South Carolina has made their last 3 shots. And a whistle away from the ball.
Look at this possession, Joyce Edwards, this high-low action. She throws the ball basically just right at the rim, and Medina Okote's so tall she can go up and get it. And a little penetration pitch for Winthrop to get a shot, a 3-point shot on the board. But I love the high-low action. I know that's something that Joyce Edwards and Okote are getting familiar with each other, but when you see it, it's a thing of beauty.
Yeah, it sure is. So many player combinations on this South Carolina that could be a thing of beauty. Foul had been on Ruff, and Edwards makes both free throws.
And just for folks at home, Joyce Edwards last year spent all season with Chloe Kitts, working that 4-5, working that high-low action, and then when she gets hurt, well, Medina Okote is a transfer, and she's learning the South Carolina system. Wow. She's dominating right now.
I mean, talk about making it look easy. Okote is getting no resistance down low. Okote 6'6" from Kenya. And with blazing speed as well. Latson intercepts the pass. Latson will dish it off. Nice pass over to Edwards. A textbook fast break by South Carolina. And they're back up by 14. Just over a minute to play here in the quarter. Pierfax stopped, forced a pass down low. This is Johnson. Johnson short. Porter with the offensive rebound and a foul on McKeer.
Can't come to South Carolina and not guard. And tonight, Latson has stepped up to the plate in that regard. And here's where she's really elevated her game, is making quick decisions and transition. And this is what John Staley has said. Hey, we want you to start thinking at the pro level. You can't get downhill. Someone's going to stop you. So you got to be able to make a quick decision, find an open teammate. Starting to see that play out for tonight, Latson. She's going to have a bright future in the W.
Porter's on the free throw line for Winthrop, made the first one. It's the leading returning scorer for Winthrop this year. Edwards getting a breather and into the game for the first time for South Carolina. Brought in Isla McDowell, number 24 in white. That's her with the ball. Under a minute to play in the opening quarter. South Carolina, how about 8 of 11 shooting to start this game? Make it 9 of 12. And Latson is already in double figures.
And we haven't even said Tessa Johnson yet. Just one shot.
Yeah, that's right.
Double-digit score, but that's, tonight Latson's kind of calling her number right now, and we've seen how good Okote has been down low.
Winthrop looking for some momentum to end the quarter. Got 5 on the shot clock. They're going to have to get it up. Pierfax going to work. Deep three. Good. Woo! Yes. Second three for Pierfax. And the final 10 seconds of the quarter, South Carolina has had 3 players do all of their scoring so far. Okote, good pass from Raven Johnson. Textbook. And Medina Okote did not miss a shot of any kind in that first quarter. Okote taking the pass, 5 of 5 shooting from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. And South Carolina off and running. After the first quarter, they lead by 13. As we get ready to start the second quarter, Medina Okote was so impressive in that first quarter.
She's just been a joy to watch, and she is thriving right now in South Carolina's offense on the defensive side, blocking shots, and then just making herself available. At 6'6", you find position, you find ways to make yourself available, and you can be a dominant post because you know your guards are going to find you. And a great pass by Raven Johnson. An efficient day so far. How about not missing a shot, Sam? Not too bad.
Yeah. And the thing about Okote, too, is she is an incredible athlete. Everyone from Mississippi State to South Carolina that has watched her work out says she has lightning speed and superhuman strength.
Think about that when you're on the track. Molly Benetti was telling us a story. 6'6", just coming around the corner, running a 200 at you. And she's like, I don't know if I've ever seen somebody run that fast. And I'm like, I can't even, it's hard for me to visualize, we're getting to that tall of a player to have that kind of speed. And she's pretty new to the game.
Yeah,
Sam.
she's only been playing for 5 years. She was a volleyball player at first. Winthrop opening possession here in the second quarter. Anything you would advise Winthrop to do here?
I think they just needed a second to, okay, we're playing South Carolina. Let's not be too, shy. And I think they were aggressive in the last 5 minutes.
Edwards misses, gets her own rebound, pads her stats, and puts it back in. She got 2 rebounds out of that. So South Carolina's doubled up the lead on Winthrop. Nice take off the mark, though. And that was out of bounds on Winthrop. So South Carolina will get the ball back. And a reminder that coming up next, Keyshawn Hall and Auburn will host Jackson State, also available on the all-new ESPN app. So we've got men's basketball coming up after this game in Columbia. Johnson open for three. Yes.
She's whispering over here.
That's her 10th made three of the season. And she's only the 4th player to score tonight for South Carolina. Would you like to see her do more of that?
Well, I think that she's growing into a role.
3 by Lard.
Yeah, Lard can get going. I mean, she loves a big moment. She's capable of hitting a big shot.
Good look down low, and one. Isla McDowell muscles it up and in. She's fouled by Takara Johnson.
South Carolina just looking so unselfish on offense. 9 assists on 13 made field goals, shooting 76%.
Isla McDowell from Cypress, Texas, one of the many McDonald's All-Americans on the South Carolina team. Scored almost 3,000 points in high school. Nothing but net.
To go back to your point about Tessa Johnson, I think she's still kind of growing into, okay, hey, we need you to step up and be a playmaker all the time, not just coming off the bench when we need a spark. We need you to be consistent. And I think, just 4 games in, she's been a good scorer, but she's going to still need some time growing into that role.
Naomi Wilson made the 2 inside, and there's another 3, this time by Latson. It's only her 3rd made 3, Steffi, the entire season. 3 on the way from Pierfax. He's made 3 tonight.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm here for the 3s. Let's go.
Johnson, good take. Raven Johnson. Offensive rebound by Latson and 1. Molly Benetti, the strength coach for South Carolina, said Latson's increased her vertical by 4 inches. Here's an example of that.
Look at this, how high she gets up to grab this board, snatches it out of the air. Try to get this and 1. I mean, I've been really impressed. I wanted to see what tonight Latson looked like in a South Carolina jersey, and so far she has been absolutely terrific. Hitting 3s, getting to the free throw line, making good decisions.
Foul was on Lard, so Latson will be going to the free throw line. Latson already with 15 points tonight. Like a Coat, has not missed a shot of any kind until now. And then a Coat cleans it up. So it's a 4-point play. Shinxter on the free throw.
I'll let you handle all the math.
No, backcourt on Winthrop. So Porter did not catch that pass on the other side of the half-court line. And so an unforced error, turnover. Samika Randall-Lay, again, leading this team in her 6th season. She took the program from 6 wins in her first season to 16 last year. And they're in the hunt this year, or predicted to be, for the Big South title. Raven Johnson draws the foul. Getting her underneath was Wilson. So Raven Johnson will go to the free throw line now. Raven Johnson, a 5th-year senior in a much different role this year as well.
When I look at Raven Johnson, I think we've been really spoiled in terms of scoring point guards in the last few years. I think about Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers, Georgia Amor. Those are score-first point guards. Raven Johnson is not that. She is going to find her teammates. She's going to set everybody up. She's going to be your leader out there. And it's a thing of beauty, and I think that sometimes it gets lost. We're so used to scoring point guards. Let's not lose sight of what traditional point guards always have done. They set you up, and they make you look good. How about this?
Yeah.
Bang!
Good call, partner. The assist from Johnson over to Latson, and Latson suddenly heating up from 3. Remember, she came into the game, she'd only hit 2 all year, and has hit 2 tonight. Latson already with 18 points. Her season high is 20. Shot clock down to 6. Good look inside to Porter. Porter misses. A coat goes right over top, grabs the rebound. Latson, little hesitation, an explosive move, ends up in a layup. Whoa. Timeout, Winthrop. Tanaya Latson with a little showtime.
Tonight, Latson has been a rock star. In 14 minutes, she's already got 20 points. And by the way, she hasn't missed a shot.
SEC halftime report will show you Oklahoma, who's in action tonight, hand out some SEC regular season volleyball awards, and Chiz, of course, talk CFP. Have we calmed down from our takes earlier?
I haven't. Have you?
Me either. Let's fight some more. We'll see you at halftime, guys. Back out to you in Columbia.
Thanks, Gene. South Carolina dominating this game, 49-23. Winthrop out of the Big South, trying to keep up with South Carolina. They look happy though. They're having a good time tonight.
I mean, talking to their head coach, she kind of mentioned it being a game within a game where they can find what they can do really well when they put 100% fourth effort. And we've seen spurts, back-to-back layups by Madison Ruff or some three-pointers. I bet you she has fun with it.
I think she has fun with everybody.
I had fun talking.
Yeah,
to her.
she had me
awesome.
so fired up. I was ready to put a jersey on. It was unbelievable. She'd be a great motivational speaker. Just fun to hear talk. What a competitor she was. Amori Porter, her best player, and just talking to the fans. Samika Randall-Lay, 5th all-time scorer in Lady Vols history. Lard trying to get loose for a shot. Haven't heard from Ruff in a while, number 3 in yellow. She's a catalyst for them. That's her with the ball.
Little zone from South Carolina.
3 on the way from Lard. Porter with the offensive rebound. The reset for the Eagles. Nice move on the baseline and a block by a coat. Ruff. Latson. It's got Edwards on her left. Edwards crosses over and scores. Adele Tack in the game now for South Carolina, number 15 in white. Dawn Staley giving her entire team minutes tonight. And a trip on Tack and good sportsmanship helped her right up.
Keep an eye on Joyce Edwards' eyes this entire play. She runs the floor. The second she sees Tanaya Latson get it, she's looking at her. She's running her lane. That's what she does so well. She's got such a high IQ, and then she creates an opportunity for herself to get that easy two. I say easy two, not easy at all.
Looks easy. Porter, free throw line jumper, fouled on the arm. Foul is on McKeer. And so Porter's going to go back to the free throw line. Porter 2 for 2 earlier tonight. Porter, outstanding student as well. So on the academic all-district team representing the Big South. McKeer will head to the bench. Raven Johnson back in to replace her. Porter coming off a 22-point game against Queens over the weekend. 22.7 rebounds, 3 steals, 2 assists.
Yeah, she fills up the stats.
And Porter with 6 points tonight against South Carolina.
All right, some zone for the Eagles here. They just got to make sure that they can rebound out of this.
Edwards, fouled on the way up by Wilson. That'll be her third foul.
I have a feeling that Samika Randall went to a zone to kind of keep Wilson out of foul trouble, but Joyce Edwards smartly drives right at her. Yep, stay straight up.
We actually asked her about it, and she was not planning on playing zone tonight. Said it wouldn't be likely, but obviously made a in-game decision there. Edwards on the free throw line getting that foul from Wilson. Edwards, 11 points so far tonight. South Carolina from the free throw line, 11 of 14. And they have made 79% of their shots in this game, 19 to 24. 9 of 11 this quarter. Ruff trying to shake Johnson. Puts up the floater, misses. Rebound by Edwards. Johnson to Tessa Johnson. And a jump ball. Possession arrow will keep it on this end of the floor. Pierfax coming back into the game for Winthrop. She's been the big part of their offense tonight. She's made 3 threes. Lob up top to Latson. Porter intercepted, flips it ahead to Pierfax for the easy layup. Good D by the Eagles. Turnover number 5 on South Carolina. They forced 7 tonight. Edwards. Well, she floated that time. She just didn't finish. Free throw line jumper off the mark by Johnson. Raven Johnson will push it for South Carolina. 3 players in front of her. Good job by Winthrop to get back, and that entry pass sails out of bounds. A big college football Saturday coming your way, including the South Carolina programs. Matchup against Coastal Carolina, Sanford A&M, Charlotte, Georgia, Alabama in action against Eastern Illinois, Mercer, Auburn. I mentioned Coastal Carolina against South Carolina, and Western Kentucky at LSU will be the nightcap.
Lots going on in college football.
Got a big college football Saturday. The SEC Women's Volleyball Tournament starts this weekend.
Who's the favorite for that?
Kentucky's undefeated. Another Craig Skinner's Kentucky team won their regular season. Texas in second. And South Carolina stuff is suddenly turning it over a little bit.
Well, Don Staley has expressed some frustration of just lack of execution, some miscues, and they were working on getting the ball inside. And I can't remember who made the bad pass, but it was just taking an extra dribble and then hitting the post players. So just some little things, and that's what Don Staley is looking for in this, game within a game when you've got a new set of 5 out here. How do they play? How do they play together?
3 on the way, off the mark by Lard. Raven Johnson, eyes up. Nothing there. Edwards spins left, draws the foul, and we'll go back to the free throw line. Fouls on Takara Johnson of Winthrop.
Joyce Edwards was, really impressive against Southern Cal, a top 10 team. And Lindsay Gottlieb after the game was very complimentary of Edwards as just a sophomore. Talked about her length being so disruptive, her motor, just the high IQ she plays with and how hard it is to defend her.
Against SC, Edwards had 17 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 blocks, and 2 steals.
All the day's work, I guess.
She has just been named the SEC Player of the Week for the the first time in her career. Obviously, last year was an outstanding freshman, was first team all SEC and an All-American, but never was an SEC Player of the Week. Offensive rebound and the stick back by McDowell. Two minutes of play here in the half. Porter trying to shake Tessa Johnson. Good D by Tessa Johnson. Forced the turnover. Edwards in the open court. Winthrop will slow it down. A 30-point Gamecock lead. You got to get going. Shot clock at 5. Somebody's going to have to put it up. 2, long-range 3 off the rim by Wilson. And South Carolina with a chance to increase the lead. A look down low. Yes. Raven Johnson to Edwards.
Johnson's 8th assist in the half. I'd say that's getting the job done, finding your teammates.
And Edwards with 16 points. Latson has 20. Final minute of the half. Porter got away with a push, then followed her missed shot. Good job by Porter following that shot. And then Raven Johnson knocking it out of bounds.
South Carolina continues to just play great defense, smothering at times. And Joyce Edwards, what does she do so well? She runs the floor. Man, so quick.
Lid on the basket for Winthrop. Williams missing that jumper, and South Carolina will take a timeout now with 25.8 seconds left in the half. What would the theory be behind the timeout here, you think?
We're working on in-game execution. Can you translate what I'm writing on this board right now, and can you execute it with 25 seconds to go in the game? Maybe it's a quick score, maybe it's a 3. You know, this is how you're trying to get some real game minutes and execution. And I love the strategy. You got to get them to learn in front of this big crowd and see if they can execute.
Well, I mentioned it earlier, but now officially, let me tell you about the SEC Women's Volleyball Tournament. It's back after 20 years. It begins Friday with 4 first-round matchups starting at noon Eastern, 11 Central, all here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. It's the first SEC volleyball tournament since 2005. It takes place in Savannah, so if you can't check it out on the app or on SEC Network, head down to Savannah for the weekend. What a fun time.
Yeah.
All 16 teams, including Vanderbilt, which has added volleyball this season, will be in action. Kentucky, the number 2 seed in that event. Number 1 seed, Texas, number 2. Here in Columbia, all South Carolina, the second-ranked team in the nation. It's been to 5 straight Final Fours. Scoreboard tells the story. Final seconds here in the half. Raven Johnson trying to shake the defender inside to Edwards, and they ran it to perfection. Good job, Coach Staley. Mission accomplished on that play.
We give it to Joyce Edwards. Raven Johnson, I think maybe took a little bit too long, but she got the 2 and a big lead here in Columbia.
South Carolina, their season high for points and a half. We will send it into the studio now to Alyssa Lang and Gene Chiswick.
Holding Winthrop to just 25% shooting, and it's great to see tonight Latson playing free, not thinking. That is what Don Staley wants from her. Hey, when we get you out there, just play basketball, and I've seen that from her, and especially crashing the glass, like getting after it, you know, like those extra effort, energy plays were fun to see. And then from high school teammate to high school teammate, they reunited. That bucket was fun to watch. But tonight, Latson look, averaging 25, 26 points a game last year. Her numbers are a little bit down, but that's not what South Carolina is going to do. That's not what makes them great. It's not what gets them to the Final Four every year. They have balance and they have a lot of depth. And so learning a new role, but nonetheless, this is what we know Tanai Latson can do. So it's probably good for her confidence too within the system.
They made 77% of their shots in the first half, and right away, Winthrop scoring on the opening possession. Good job by the Eagles. Take it to the Gamecocks. Tessa Johnson, though, answers a 2 with a 3. Tessa Johnson had only made 9 threes this season, 2 tonight. South Carolina is a team 4 of 7 behind the three-point line. Porter. Little fade away. Nice shot over Edwards. And lob down low. Porter holds her hand up. Said, yeah, I was holding her. Foul on Porter trying to defend Edwards.
Yeah, Samika Randolay was telling us, these are games that you learn from, and you're going up against the top tier competition, but you can see why Porter, once the league play hits, you're going up against other fellow Big South players, and I have a feeling she's going to have a really great year. She can do it all.
The coach has got her 7th rebound and 16th point. Yeah, for Winthrop, that's the goal. You got to be ready at the end of the season, and playing games like this for Winthrop is a way to get ready for conference play. They always play a tough non-conference schedule. Raven Johnson just committed the foul. So Lard will inbound it for the Eagles. Winthrop 2-2 this year. They lost their first 2. They won their last 2. South Carolina 4-0, looking for their 6th straight Final Four by the end of the season. Lard. Oh, good job. And a block by a coat. And then stepping through the lane and scoring is Naomi Wilson. Remember, Wilson's playing with 3 fouls. Edwards missed the shot. Ruff comes from underneath to grab the rebound. Here's Ruff on the break to the wing. Ruff trying to make something happen always. And as she went through the lane, she was fouled. Raven Johnson looks like getting called again. And that'll be 2 fouls on Johnson here in the first 2 minutes of the third quarter.
Winthrop's done a nice job just driving right at the hip of Johnson.
Johnson's going to head to the bench and be replaced by Elia McDaniel. Isla had a good first half. McDowell came in off the bench and scored. Porter. Look at Tessa Johnson. Ooh. Ouch. Yeah, she fell down and the ball bounced back up into her side. That was a fluke play.
Did you hear her yell out?
I did.
I heard it too.
Yeah. Just jumped up and said it. That's a 4th foul on Naomi Wilson. That's the only good thing for South Carolina out of that.
And Wilson at 6'3" has been giving them some size.
Just hasn't been able to stay on the floor. Latson weaves her way down the lane and scores. She remains perfect. 8 of 8. Wilson to Porter, open in the corner. 3 on the way, no good. Ako with a rebound. Edwards. It's down to Latson, little alley-oop. But a foul called on Edwards. Ruff drawing another charge.
Tonight, Latson the pick and roll, and this is what scouts are going to look at for the next league is what can you do in the pick and roll? Can you attack it? Can you read it? Can you make a good decision? And a great execution by her in the half court.
South Carolina's made 74% of their shots tonight. Jump ball call, possession error will give it back to South Carolina. Five of these Gamecocks were put on the Wooden Award top 50 watch list this year. Only LSU had 5 across all the Division I programs in the country. So much individual talent on this team. Lob down to Porter. Porter misses the layup, but it's going to stay with Winthrop as McDowell caught it out of bounds. So, again, South Carolina just loaded with individual talent this time of year. You see a lot of the Gamecocks on these award watch lists, 3 on the Naismith Trophy watch list, 5 on the Wooden Trophy. Those are both Player of the Year awards, but the Wooden Award incorporates some academics and some character traits, whereas Naismith is pure basketball. There's a 3 by Porter.
There's only one other team in the nation with 5 on there.
Yeah, LSU.
LSU.
A Coat just having her way down low. 8 of 8. 18 points and 8 rebounds for Medina Coat. Winthrop hanging with South Carolina here in the third quarter. Shot clock going to expire. And South Carolina will take possession. South Carolina's only outscored Winthrop 9-8 so far here in the third quarter.
Yeah, showing some fight, some substitutions, got the freshmen out there. So Don Stadium's not looking at the score. I mean, it's about possession, possession, possession. You got 2 of your freshmen in here. 2 transfers, 1 returner.
Latson in the lane, bumped. Foul on Lard, so Latson's going to go back to the free throw line. Now, what a breakout game for Latson. 22 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. The only thing she's missed is 1 free throw, 4 of 5, 8 of 8 from the floor.
Way to go.
She still hasn't missed a shot, though.
That's true.
Just free throws. South Carolina's field goal percentage, 73%. They're on track to establish a record. They can hang on, and as long as they keep throwing it in the paint, I don't see that percentage dropping too much. Winthrop just has not had an answer for the South Carolina post.
I'd like to see them swing the ball more offensively. It's just been stuck on 1/3 of the floor. Got to make South Carolina move laterally, try to get them out of position to find an opening.
The Coat out on the perimeter. Gives it to Latson, who explodes down the lane. A Coat cleans it up. A Coat now with 20 points tonight. 1 rebound away from a double-double is a Coat to be her 3rd double-double in the last 4 games. She can grab 1 more rebound. Offensive foul on Pierfax.
And a good communication.
Or excuse me, it's Johnson. 4th foul on Johnson. We've got a timeout on the floor. South Carolina rolling right now. Up 73-35 against Winthrop. Rice Stadium will be rocking this Saturday as a cross-state rivalry game will take place in that stadium. Coastal Carolina will be coming over to face the Gamecocks at 4:15 on SEC Network and the all-new ESPN app. Action will start at noon Eastern with Samford and Texas A&M, and will conclude at 7:45 Eastern with Western Kentucky at LSU. Here in Columbia tonight, the number 2 ranked team in the nation, looking strong, up 73-35. Medina Coat, their number 11 in white, 20 points and 9 rebounds. And is not done yet, looking for yet another double-double. McKeer, cross-court pass to Latson, missed the 3. Offensive rebound for the Gamecocks. Tessa Johnson's wide open for 3.
Yep.
Boom.
You give her that much daylight, she's going to make you pay.
All 3 of her field goals tonight have been 3s. South Carolina 5 of 10 behind the 3-point line. Pierfax off the glass, yes. Pierfax, the leading scorer tonight for Winthrop. Nice. And McKeer gets the bucket. McKeer, they call her Gotti. She's from Canada.
I mean, great length, versatility. Listed at 6'1". Got a huge wingspan.
Shot clock down to 6. Williams. Latson with a rebound. Tessa Johnson bump, no foul call by Hamilton. Latson called for it, got it. Asking for a screen. And draws the foul. Latson wanted the ball.
Yeah, I mean, she's feeling it. She's been aggressive. She's called her number. And, I mean, she is so good at one-on-one. I mean, she can create a shot against someone taller, someone bigger, someone shorter, and she's great at getting downhill to the basket, especially drawing fouls.
4th foul on Lard, and Medina Cote will head to the bench, get a breather. Dowda comes in to replace her. Latson 5 of 8 from the free throw line tonight. 6 of 9, and now up to 24 points. Oh, nice shot by Ruff.
Dowda's got a guard. She's got to sit down and put her hands up, and Madison Ruff notices her hands are down. Lets it go.
Ruff's a baller.
I love it. She plays with great attitude. You can tell she's got some passion out there.
Your eyes are just drawn to her when she's out on the floor. I mean, she's one of those players.
And you can hear her.
Yeah. She's one of those players that you'd want on your team.
Absolutely.
Shot clock down to 5 for South Carolina. They got to get it up. Latson. And it'll be Winthrop's ball as the shot clock expired. Latson laughing as she goes off the court. Joyce Edwards giving her a hard time when she subbed her out. One thing we did notice today, just being around this South Carolina team, they do have chemistry. They seem to really have fun, yeah.
Well, I wrote down some of the songs that we're playing. I don't know if Dawn Staley had the aux cord. They had a little Michael Jackson.
I think she did, because she did a lot of dancing.
Mariah Carey, Beyonce. I mean, we had some bangers out here.
Yeah.
Champ was dancing, her dog. He's a good boy. He sat for a while.
And Ruff will be rewarded with a trip to the free throw line as she's fouled by Tessa Johnson. Ruff is just instant energy. She has been so much fun to watch tonight. Coach told us she leaves it all out on the floor, and she was definitely telling the truth. Short on that free throw. She had made her only other free throw tonight. 6 of 10 from the free throw line this season. McKeer trying to show some range. The bank's open. Good take by Ruff. Yes. Blew right by the South Carolina D.
Without Raven Johnson in the game, not a true point guard on the floor. Nobody stops ball.
McKeer again misses Edwards with the offensive rebound. That's just too easy. South Carolina has outscored Winthrop 48-18 in the paint, but there's a three. This Winthrop team, they're showing a lot of fight. Love how hard they're playing on both sides. It's just been a mismatch so far tonight, but not in the effort column. Tessa Johnson.
Ooh.
Good to see her Dowda pop up. She went down hard.
A couple players down to the floor. Just an awkward fall for Miriam Dowda.
Yeah, Pierfax's leg got her in the head. Good sportsmanship. Pierfax trying to help her up. McKeer, open look to the basket. Yes. What do you think of that move?
It's special. I mean, that versatility and her on-ball defense, perfect prototype for the Dawn Staley system.
Final second of the quarter, and we are finished with 30 minutes of basketball. And Winthrop only outscored by 6 points in that third quarter. But in the end, it was still all South Carolina as the threes were falling, and South Carolina still making almost 70% of their shots. South Carolina up 40 heading into the fourth quarter. They've got 3 players, Steffi, with 20 or more points.
They've dominated with points in the paint, 50 so far in this game. And Raven Johnson just setting her teammates up so well tonight. Latson has had a strong breakout game. The 3 of those players certainly going to be go-to as we head towards December, then conference play, and there's going to be some opportunities for South Carolina to play some really good teams coming up as they head out to Vegas. South Carolina at number 2 right now.
Yeah, the SEC looking really strong right now. South Carolina ranked number 2. Absolutely, Texas should be in here, not A&M. But the SEC leading the way again right now in women's college basketball. And no one doing it better in this conference at the moment than South Carolina. South Carolina up 40 and an interception by McKeer. First offensive possession to Edwards. Edwards glides through and scores.
It's got to be the word we use now.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
Very descriptive of what she does.
Like when I run, it looks like I'm really having to try hard. And you're almost like,
she's floating.
Is she okay?
Yeah. Hold it. Winthrop.
Nice find.
Yeah, good look inside to Wilson. Remember, she's got 4 fouls. They just have not been able to keep her in the game. She's doing battle with a coat right now. Good pass from a coat. And a coat, she has a good passing big.
Well, in that system of running either the 4 or the 5, you got to be a good passer because there's going to be reads that you have to make. A nice find by the post player to find her freshman.
That was her 3rd assist. Porter pulls up, doesn't get the roll. And McKeer eyes up into the corner to McDowell. Out of bounds. It's going to go back to Winthrop. Winthrop going to bring in a sub, but Lard will come back in for the Eagles. So we've got a timeout. Only played 90 seconds here in the 4th quarter. We'll step away for a moment and then come back to watch South Carolina and Winthrop. Well, during the break, officials decided to look at that last play, which they're determining who the ball's out of bounds on here. A coat 11 in white touches it in 11 in yellow. And then Raven Johnson comes in. So a coat is 11 in white, Wilson 11 in yellow, and then Raven Johnson, the last player on the right there to come in. And it,
So hard to see from this angle. Does Wilson 11 in yellow? Does it touch her left hand right there?
Or does Raven Johnson get her
Is she
hand
the last
underneath
one to hit it out?
Yeah. So Gina Cross, lead official with Charles Watson and Deanna Jackson. So while they're looking, just want to remind you about the men's basketball game that's coming up after our game tonight. Auburn hosting Jackson State here on SEC Network, also available on the all-new ESPN app.
Excited to see what Stephen Pearl does this year, filling in for his dad. I watched their game just the other night. He was upset about the way the game ended, but Bruce Pearl in the stands cheering for his son. It was awesome.
The out-of-bounds violation has been overturned. Successful as appeal is, South Carolina's appeal is successful. Shot clock will be reset to 21 seconds.
Okay, so we are just finding out that that was an actual appeal by Dawn Staley, and because she won that appeal, they don't have to give up a timeout. So the ball is off number 11 in yellow, Naomi Wilson, and it originally had been called off of South Carolina. So an appeal by Dawn Staley, successful, and they get the ball back. Coaches have unlimited appeals, but it'll cost you a timeout if you're wrong. Johnson, 4 on the shot clock. McKeer saved it back in bounds.
How about McKeer hustle plays today?
There's that reach you were talking about. Raven Johnson up and underneath. Johnson, 3 points, but 10 assists running that point tonight. She's got 4 rebounds as well. Be a turnover on Winthrop. Maybe they're 12th. You talked about just how versatile McKeer is.
It's just her length. I mean, I don't have the measurables with me, but you can just tell watching her. She just passes the eye test, and Raven Johnson puts a scoop underneath. But McKeer's getting some valuable minutes right now and giving Dawn Staley reason to smile.
A coat faces the basket, going to work, and draws the foul. And a coat. Foul by Porter. And a coat going to go to the free throw line. You know, you were talking wingspan. A coat is 6'6", but her wingspan is 6'10".
just makes her such a good target. I mean, she's been aggressive tonight. That's something Dawn Staley has been imploring into her. Hey, we want you to want the ball, and we'll get it to you. She's got kind of a softer personality, really nice, and sometimes, you know, gotta get a little angry out there. Right, Sam? Get a little angry.
Can you make a player do that though? I mean, don't you think that's kind of just her personality?
Yeah.
There is a way to maybe create intensity, you know, bring out that passion a little more.
Or being intentional, and I think she'll learn the art of being intentional in this system. And shoot, we're watching it play out right real time. 21 points, 9 of 9 from the floor.
And a Cote with the foul. Good take by Wilson. One thing I know is Medina Cote is having fun playing basketball at South Carolina. She seems to really be very relaxed and having a good time. And from the country of Kenya. Wilson, the Aussie, at the free throw line, off the mark. And Wilson made the second free throw. She was looking into a sea of fans waving their arms back behind that backboard.
Well, when she's on the floor, she's been incredibly effective.
Got to be careful, though. Wilson has 4 fouls. That's Dowda trying to get that 5th on her. And let's see who they call, either Wilson or Lard. And it looks like Lard is going to get called on that one, but that's not any better because that's the 5th foul on Lard. So Lard will leave the game. Lard with 5 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist in her appearance tonight in Colonial Life Arena. Dowda misses the first free throw. We'll have one more. It's only the second free throw she's missed the whole season. And I missed 2. And off a Cote's foot, it'll be Winthrop's ball. Fairfax has done a good job offensively for Winthrop tonight. Just made some big buckets for them. Trying to get around Raven Johnson. Shot was altered. Out of bounds. It'll stay with Winthrop.
I think you'll get that same look if you're Winthrop. If you move it along the perimeter, you get it back. And then try to make the defense break down a little bit. Sometimes Fairfax has a tendency to just hold on to the ball a little bit too long. She's a great playmaker.
Yeah. Turnover on Wilson, and South Carolina will get the ball back. 6:27. And 3 players for South Carolina tonight with 20 or more points. Just to put that in perspective, Steffi, they haven't done that since 2014.
Wow.
It's been a long time since they've had 3 with 20 or more. Look in low, good pass from Dowda. Down inside to number 15, Adele Tack. South Carolina with a big lineup on the floor now. 3 on the way and good by Wilson. So McKeer, Cote, Tack, Dowda, and McDowell on the floor. This is a new 5 for South Carolina.
Yeah, I like it. I think everyone's at least 6 foot out there.
But Cote off the glass. Cote has not missed a shot tonight. 10 for 10 from the field. 23 points, 9 rebounds. South Carolina 4 points away from 100. Intercepted by McKeer. McKeer with 1 player to beat.
So with this big lineup, they play zone. They can cover a lot of space. And then you give McKeer the ability playing in that logo to try and catch a ball on the flight. She's got the speed and ability to do so.
3 off the mark. Tack grabs the rebound. McKeer is in double figures now with 10 points. Only player that hasn't scored tonight for South Carolina is Dowda. Tack. Dowda inside, good move. Just can't get that first bucket. Looks like foul is going to be called on Adele Tack. Chloe Kitts, she's been doing a lot of coaching tonight, and it's working out. South Carolina's looked awesome. Well, Stubby, South Carolina has some very notable non-conference games coming up. These are 3 of the notable non-conference games, but they may also be playing UCLA or Texas as well.
Yeah, going out to Vegas for a tournament with Duke, UCLA, and Texas. Talk about some fun matchups to watch. And then I think Louisville is going to be a great test. And just spreading the love around, get a little Big Ten action, taking on Penn State. But really looking forward to what happens out in Vegas. It could be, you know, I know Duke has stumbled as of late, but they're still a team coached by Kara Lawson that are always in the fold in the ACC. UCLA has looked really good and also has the height of Lauren Betts to challenge some of the height that South Carolina has. So very curious how that tournament shakes out.
Yeah, they'll be heading to Las Vegas next week. They'll actually be in Las Vegas for Thanksgiving. Winthrop with the ball, just over 4 minutes to play here in regulation. 3 on the way, off the back of the rim, offensive rebound. Pierfax was screaming for it, got it, made it. Pierfax with 4 threes tonight against the Gamecocks. Coach Staley still using that big lineup out of the timeout. A Coat. First shot of Coates missed tonight. McDowell runs it down. Good hustle. And Dowda's the only player that hasn't scored. That was her with the ball. Got broken up by Williams. How about Pierfax tonight? Got to give her some props. She's had a fantastic game.
Yeah, 4 of 7, and just spot up. You know, anytime there's a loose ball, if you're a shooter, you find yourself behind that 3-point line, set your feet and get ready. She's been phenomenal from the 3-point line. 4 for 7 tonight.
Again, this Winthrop team plays in the Big South Conference. They were picked 4th in the preseason poll behind High Point, Longwood, and Radford. Tack, she's open. Why not shoot? Yeah, Adele Tack.
A smile from Don Staley.
Tack's 2 for 2 tonight. And that was a pass to Coach Samika. Samika Randall-Lay. She wasn't ready for that
like,
pass.
Oh, I'm retired.
Yeah, it's one of the few passes she wasn't ready for. And Don Staley coming down to talk to Charles Watson, one of the officials, about that.
She's not having it. She's like, do I peel it?
So watch what happens. So they gave the ball back to Winthrop, and that's what Don was upset about. Blocked by Dowda. Back inbounds to Tack. And Dowda scoops it up again.
She's playing the 3 right now, so that's a 6'5" wing. I mean, this is an interesting lineup.
It's McKeer running the point at 6'1". Good look inside to Tack. Wow. McKeer with 4 assists tonight. Boy, it is tough to get a shot off over those arms. Well, what do you think this unit, as Dawn Staley would call the 5 that are on the floor now playing together?
This is, your link, your versatile players. You got great wings. You don't really have a true point guard. Obviously, McCure in there at 6'1". She's a freshman. She's getting some minutes. I'm always going to go back to Raven Johnson. You want to have her on the floor, but seeing how they're being able to cover space defensively and then move the ball on offense, kind of shaking my head with Dawn Staley right now. Okay, this could be something.
Tessa Johnson is reporting over the scores table right now. 3 on the way from Fairfax. It'll be South Carolina's ball, and now Tessa Johnson will come back in.
How about trying to get through all 3 of those defenders? Not easy to do. Nice find, too, to get a Del Tack on the board. And South Carolina 7 blocks tonight. I believe they average 8.
It's their 2nd game of the season over 100 points. They scored over 100 against Bowling Green. Medina Code got taken out by Johnson. Got nice hand by the fans here. South Carolina leads the nation in attendance so far this season. They average over 16,000 a game. Good battle by Tack. Johnson open in the corner. McDowell comes through the lane and cleans it up with the 2. Nice shot. McDowell with 7 points tonight. Good pass. Under a minute to play. South Carolina going to go to 5-0. What a performance tonight. Dowda still hasn't scored a collective. Oh, well, that didn't go in.
Fans want it for her.
Still on the stat sheet in other ways, though. Nice shot by number 21, Williams. So, final possession of the game. Steffi, your final thoughts about the South Carolina team tonight?
Just a great performance, especially by Tanaya Latson. Just 24 points, 8 of 11 from the floor, great balance, and some valuable minutes by the freshmen. We got to see a strong showing by them.
So South Carolina, it's official, wins this one 106-56. And 2 head coaches that battled on the hardwood back when they were in the WNBA go at it tonight. But Dawn Staley, South Carolina Gamecocks, just too strong for Samika Randall-Lay's Winthrop Eagles. South Carolina ends up shooting 64% for the game and had 3 players with 20 or more points for the first time since 2014. And there's the 2 former Great College Players National Champions meeting. So for Steffi Sorensen and our hardworking crew in the control room, I'm Sam Gore with the honor of saying so long from Columbia. We send you now to Alyssa and Jean in the studio. Take it away, Langer.
Both of y'all could take this. Obviously, a lot of points scored tonight. Just how much do you think it'll help prepare you for these future games by being able to share the ball as well as you did?
I think it'll prepare us really well. We know we got 2 top 10 matchups coming up, so we know we have to, put the ball in the hoop, of course. And sharing the ball is, something that coach, harps on. So I think we executed that well today.
Tonight, just what's allowing you to thrive right now with this system, kind of the players, how you're playing off of, what South Carolina is giving you?
My teammates and my coaches giving me grace. I know this is different, coming into, a different school, learning a new system. So I'm trying to give myself grace too. Tonight I just wanted to play free, and I think I did that.
For both of you, I mean, you came off a big win on the other coast. Come back here, you didn't let up a second. Is that the focus that you had and just wanted to make sure, hey, we're not going to be caught looking ahead or looking behind?
Yeah, because we're trying to focus like we just started. The season is still like the season just started and we're so locked in, and we're trying to we're just trying to get it done the right way.
For Medina, you had 23 tonight, and you had 6 of those in the first 3 minutes, 12 of those in the first quarter. Was it the plan to come out that aggressive, or is that just how the game came to you tonight?
I feel like that was the plan. Like that is always the plan for each and every game, and I'm just happy for myself because I feel like what I've been working for is showing up, and yeah.
Michael?
Tonight, you touched on this a little bit, but Joyce was telling us the other day that no matter who the opponent is, you could take lessons from a game like this. I know you won by 50, but what did you learn about this team tonight?
That we all can score the ball. We do a really good job sharing the ball. Obviously we had a couple defensive lapses, so we got things to work on. But I feel like our defense is getting there. We're learning new things. We're building chemistry. So I feel like this team can go far.
Tonight, you mentioned giving yourself grace. Have you found it, especially these first few games, like with you and Raven back together again, like, can we get back to what we were in high school? Do you find yourself sometimes saying, should I be aggressive? Should I not? How do y'all get through that?
Last night we got up shots after the men's game, and we were just talking about, being comfortable, being confident. And I feel like both of us, we needed that. We needed that conversation last night. Playing off of each other is always something that we're really good at. I'm just hoping that it translates every game.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Dawn, big night offensively. How do you think the team played defensively?
I mean, we had moments. We had moments where we weren't connected, and I think that's attributed to Winthrop and how they moved us around. They got ball reversals when they wanted, and they made us play in the shot clock for a long time. And sometimes we got a little disconnected. Stuff we just continue to have to work on.
On offense, 3 with 20-plus points tonight. I think it was the first time since 2014, right? What allowed that to happen on offense? What was working to get 3 people with that amount of points?
I thought tonight got off to a quick start, just getting down the floor, making layups, and then she got a 3 going. Medina was cleaning up a lot of stuff, and we were intentional about getting her the ball as well. Joyce is always going to be hovering around 20 points. I just like the fact that we're very efficient from those 3 players, and then a got into the game. And I was really proud of our young players who are giving it what they got. I mean, Isla's coming along. Like, Isla's doing the things that we're, the intangible things. She knows what we want, and she plays to that. And I like that. And I think Tessa's stat line doesn't really show her playing the right way. She's not pressing, and obviously we want her to shoot a little bit more than what she's shooting, but she's not forcing things. She's playing, really good basketball.
Tonight was just in here and she talked about giving herself grace and a convo she had with Raven last night and just like kind of playing free, but she's obviously been very productive. Do you see like extra pressure she's putting on herself? Yeah. Kind of what's going on there?
Yeah, of course. I mean, when you've led the nation in scoring, any type of drop off is, it's concerning to the person that has been that. But I hope tonight understands that in just a short time that she's been with us, I think she increased her chances of being a pro because of what she's doing on the defensive side of the ball. She's really guarding. And then she's very, very efficient with us. Like, she's shooting over 50% from the floor. That's what teams are looking for. They actually know what she can do. It is, can she play with other players? That's one of the themes probably as she made the jump to come to our team. And it looks good out there at times, but psychologically, hitting that 20-point mark is I do think it's something for her. Like, it's something that was a regular for her. and it hasn't been that. This is first time, right? It's first time she hit 20. Is it second? Second, but I'm looking at just overall, just her ability to, she dumped some passes off today. So, just expanding her game in that way. And we're talking to her about that because obviously it does play a psychological effect on you when you're used to scoring a whole lot of points.
Dawn, coming after the Southern Cal game, this could have been a situation where maybe they kind of took a little lull or something like that, but they came out fast, they came out hard, they really got things going. Is that a good indicator about where this team is headed?
Well, I don't think we came out as strongly as I would have liked. But I would say this team is trying to find their identity. They really are. And they're fighting for it. But I do think playing in the USC game really was taxing, just mentally, physically. But we had two pretty good days of practice to get ready for this game. And then we'll practice again tomorrow just to get them moving a little bit. And we got to try to simulate somewhat of playing a back-to-back next week and see how their bodies feel. But I'm proud of this team. This team hasn't really reached its potential yet. I think we're getting a little bit closer just to finding our identity. And it's coming. It's coming. It's just not there yet.
In the back of Chaz and then
Coach, tonight you guys outscored them 70-20 in the paint.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like about Medina and how she's come along and how she really inserted herself tonight?
I mean, we need Medina to be dominant. Like we need dominance on her part every time she steps on the floor. And I think she's just getting more and more comfortable. And I think there's just a little bit more structure out there to where she knows where she needs to be. And she's getting just more comfortable. Like I like her rebounding the basketball. I like her being efficient. I like her, taking shots and being aggressive. And she's going to have to be that, on Sunday as well as into next week.
Kind of combining on that and what Lulu asked you, just the transition for Medina and for Tanaya, how over the last 5 games have you really seen them settle into what you're asking of them of this program and the potential you're seeing for the future?
Yeah, they aren't where they used to be, and they're not where they need to be or where they're going to be. It really takes a lot of coaches just kind of guiding them, showing them through film, and it's also just talking to them about what they're feeling, like because it's a lot of pressure to play for us. It's much different than where they come from. So some of that they have to work through. It's a lot of people always out here. There's a lot of critics that have a lot to say about how they're fitting in, what they're doing, what they're not doing, and their why. I always go back to their why they came here, and that their why is to make them put them in a better position to be in pros. Just adding different things to what they already have, to doing the things that pros are looking for. And for us, it's not, it's not any different than how we play. Like this is our normal, this is how we play. And it's worked out for the other players the other pros that we produced. But they're coming on, they're coming off nicely. They're very coachable. Like it's incredible. Like they're really like mature about how they go about things. And they're listeners, they're coachable, they want to be great. Like I think we got Leah coming in next week, and Medina's excited. She's super excited because she'll work with her a little bit just to show her what happens at the next level.
Dawn, kind of off topic here, but I was curious in this days of eligibility kind of being fluid. Could Medina possibly come back next year with the international stuff? I mean, international rules governing that?
Yeah, we're gonna fight like heck. We're gonna fight like heck. I mean, it's an interesting situation with her, but I think it's, you know, it's worth fighting. If she can get another year back, definite top 5 pick. Thank you.